Hi, my name's Andrea Peterson from Playing Great Productions, and I'm here to teach you how to play Memento Mori, a card game that I made based on some artwork by Hans Holbein the Younger. Holbein's most known for some of his portraiture work in the court of Henry VIII, but my favorite stuff that he did was this series of woodcuts of the Dance of Death, or La Danse Macabre, an allegory that came out of the Black Death that shows the inevitability of mortality via skeletal figures dancing with people from all walks of life. My mind looked at them and thought that should be a card game a few years ago. So I've been working on this for a while, and I'm just releasing it on the ether now in case you need something to kill time with during this particularly weird time. So to get started, you'll need to print off everything. It's 22 pages, it's best on cardstock. That includes the 3 decks that you'll see here and a rule sheet that can also double as a counter if you want to total points as you go. You can also total at the end. The points are based on killing everyone, so it's hard to say who really wins. But you start by dealing in each player, in this case just me, 4 cards from the Death deck. That'll be the red-rimmed guys here that have a skeletal D on the back. That'll be your hand. Then you'll also take 2 things from the gold deck, which are kind of like routes from Ticket to Ride. They're goals that you want to achieve by the end of the game. They have a gold border, there's a G on the back. For example, one of the ones I have here is a busy tavern, which means I want to have 2 drunkards in my soul hoard, which will be where you will collect your points in the forms of people / mortal cards in front of you. Then you fill up the keep here in front of you, which is sort of the main play area, with 8 people. So in this case, we're starting with a sailor. You'll see the kind of the overview of the card is you've got what it is on top, the effect, and a little bit of color or at the bottom, as well as which class it is, either a commoner, or which will have a green border, a clergy, which will have an orange border, or a noble, which will have a purple border. You can see sort of the point value and the effect. In this case, it has an effect on vitality, which is a mechanic that I'll explain later. We have another commoner, the old man, and he has a diamond symbol, and that indicates that he has an extra potential point value at the end. In this case, that he's worth an additional 1 point if you also have the old woman in your soul hoard. The blind man, another commoner, this time with a spade up here, which means he has an effect when his soul is collected into a hoard. In this case, that you would have to randomly exchange 1 death hand from your card with a death hand from another player. Another commoner, or in this case a peasant with a club symbol here, which indicates that he has an effect while he is in the castle. In this case, you cannot play famine cards, which are a type of death card. And finally, we get something else. We've got a nun here with an orange border because she is a clergy. She's got a diamond because she's worth an extra point if you also have the abbess at the end of the game. And there we have a knight who is a heart, which again means that he's got something, an effect when he's on top of your soul hoard. In this case, having to do with that vitality mechanic that I will mention more later. Another noble, a countess, who's worth 3 points and it has a bonus if you've also got the count at the end. And the king, who is worth 6 points and has an effect when he's on top of your soul hoard. In this case, that you draw up an additional death card at the end of your hand. Normally you return 4, but if you've got him on top of your soul hoard, you draw up to 5. On your turn, you can do one of 3 things. You can play a death card from your hand, draw 2 gold cards, and you must keep at least 1 of them. You can't keep both if they fit your strategy, or you can put 1 of them, shuffle it back in. Or you can trash your entire hand of death cards and decide that you want a fresh start for the next turn, in which case you'll draw back up to 4 and then. In this case, I'm going to play a plague card. Start our discard pile here, which will be reshuffled when we run out of death cards. Which means we will shuffle everyone in the keep together and deal 3, which will go to my soul hoard, and the remainders will go back into the keep. So in this case, we've collected all 3 commoners, the old man, the sailor, and the blind man. You place them in front of you in the order of your choosing during each turn. So in this case, the old man, I'm going to place the old man on the bottom, then the blind man, which would require me to exchange a random card from my hand with a player of my choice if there were other players here. And keep the sailor on top because he means that vitality cards targeting me will suffer a -1 penalty while he's there. Speaking of vitality cards, they're another kind of death card that you can have. This gives you an option to target someone on top of somebody else that is soul hoard. How that will typically work is explained exactly on the card, but you target an immortal on top of someone else's soul hoard, so the person fully visible, and roll a dice. In this case, I rolled a 6, so that'll be enough for me to take him. Typically, 4, 5, or 6 will do it, but there might be other variables like this sailor card that affect that. On a 4, 5, and 6, the opponent of myself in this weird version of the game would take this and put it on top of my soul hoard. On a 1, 2, or 3 typically, or 4 in the case with the sailor here, you would take that mortal and shuffle it back into the mortal's deck. And I never really finished reestablishing the keep here, or from before, but the end of a turn will always involve you refilling this back up and drawing your death cards back up. Then it's the next person's turn, and you keep going until you have killed and collected the souls of the entire mortal's deck. Thanks for watching.